When it comes to making those gains in the gym, nutrition and hard work are vital to your goals. But there's a third part of the equation that's equally important: healing. In this week's Turn Up Time, Noelle is explaining why stretching properly is important to muscle health and your overall health. Noelle's going to start us off with some leg stretches. So Noelle, what's the deal?
If you don't stretch, imagine a water hose. The water hose has water flowing through it, right? So that's blood and oxygen flowing through your veins and into the muscle group. If you don't stretch, you're putting a crimp into that garden hose and you're holding it shut. So now we have muscles that are full of these knots, and so there is no free flow of blood and oxygen, and that's completely halting your ability to heal. So the growing happens when you heal. The growing doesn't happen in here, right? We tear ourselves apart in here. So if I don't stretch the muscle, there's no free flow of blood and oxygen, and those two things are necessary for growth. And whether you are trying to lose weight or whether you're trying to build muscle, the process is the same. The muscle has to get stronger, right? But out, Mr. Austin, like you're about to sit down on a chair. There we go. And come back up. Now speed it up a little bit so that we can get just a little bit of that blood flow moving faster. Go ahead. So it's making sure we're doing little pulses now. So down, up, down, up, down. There we go. Very good. So we'll have that person do this movement until we start to see that he's able to go down lower. So again, example of someone who definitely needs to stretch out every single time he works out, because if he can't go lower than that, then he's not ready to do his leg workout. Ordinarily, what I'll have somebody do is a little ballistic stretching, right? Go ahead and kick it out a little bit, right? Kick it out, get the blood moving, right? Because we're gonna do some movements just like that, right? And then we're gonna have you hop on just hop up and down, right? So a ballistic is more like a hopping motion, right? Dynamic stretching is when you move while you stretch. Other movements that we're gonna do. So we're probably gonna work his hamstrings today, right? So I'm gonna have him kick his own butt, right? So he's gonna kick his own butt. I'm not too picky about how he does it. There is no count, there's no limit. You just need to, when you start feeling that muscle say, ah, it kind of gives away a little bit, then just go ahead and stop. Next one that we'll do is he's probably going to do leg extensions. Lift and kick, lift and kick. We want it to be controlled, but again, we're not trying to work him out. We just want to watch the muscle work better every single rep that he does. Last one, and the one that I think is one of the most important ones, is the Frankenstein Kick, or toy soldiers, however you want to look at it. Now this one is going to stretch hamstring and glute together to prevent any type of stretching, either at the top, which is the insertion, or the bottom, which is the attachment. That's what it looks like. Good. Now if I want to add some cardio to this, which is always a good idea on leg day, there we go, his hand to his foot. And you can see, again, Austin needs to be stretching a lot more off the end. I want him to know, I want his heart to get a shock, so it knows that we're about to go to work.
All right, Noelle, appreciate it. Now, she says you need to warm up and stretch before each workout. Stretch the areas you're about to work out to get the blood flowing and loosen the muscle. When the body's awake and the muscle's loose, that's when you know you're ready to put in that work. Now, in part two, Noelle's going to show us some stretches and workouts that you can do in between sets to keep your muscles warm. Whether you're trying to lose weight or build muscle, healing is an essential part of getting the most out of your workouts and achieving your fitness goals. Getting enough blood and oxygen flowing to your muscles can mean the difference of hitting goals or even getting injured. This time around, Noelle's showing us some stretches you can do during the workout to get the body going.
The workout is going, your body is warm. Now we want to go ahead and employ some of those static stretches. And the first one, of course, is one that you see everybody do, and that is holding that foot behind your back and stretching your quad. So if you will show them, there we go. So that is just a quad stretch, right? So after you've done your leg extensions, your front squats, those are the types of stretches that you're going to want to do in between sets, and holding them for as long as you want to, for as long as you can. Number two, and this one is like my favorite, and that is when you rest your foot on something and you stretch your hamstring. Foot up here. Okay. There you go. Bend the back knee, stretch it. Yeah. Now that's a very advanced way of doing it. The way I see people do it is if you'll have a seat on the floor, Stretch your feet out in front of you. Great, reach forward, toes up, reach for your toes. Awesome. Now, that one's a little tougher when you're on the fly because you have to get on the floor. It takes a little time. But if you don't have good balance, it's the safer of the two options, right? And it's a very good idea to do it in between sets, because if you walk into another set and your muscles are too tight to do it, that set's going to be a waste of time, right? So it's a good thing to do. You just got to do it at the right time. Another one that we see a lot of people do, and that is the butterfly stretch. You're going to hit this particular stretch. You're going to hit it just like so, and if you want to go deeper, you're going to place your hands on your knees and press down. One of my favorites is a figure four. Figure four is going to address the piriformis, long word. Basically what it is, it's super deep in the hip flexor complex, and it actually gets injured more often than people would think. Take one ankle and cross it over your knee. Good, now you're going to bend this knee into a tabletop. Bend. There you go. Great. Now you're going to grab and pull. Attacks the outer thigh, your glutes, and of course the piriformis. For those people that are not flexible, and in this case, we use our foam roller. How do we stretch out our quads if we can't get that foot all the way up? Now, starting right above the knee. Now, be very careful, because if you have knee issues, make sure you don't put it on the knee. Slightly above the knee. He's going to place all of his weight onto that foam roller, and he's going to begin to roll backwards up into his hips. And the slower you can tolerate this, the better. And sit on it, and you can work your hamstrings, right? So sit on it. Now, this one's a little tougher because it relies on your ability to hold yourself up.
Good stuff. Now, Noelle says stretching before, during, and after a workout can help keep the blood and oxygen flowing throughout your body, which reduces the risk of injury, as well as helps lessen the soreness and tightness you can experience after workouts sometimes.